Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to the Animus, and today we're going to start our build series with our 160 new Gundam. Let's get right to it. Alright, so welcome back everyone. So one of the things that I want to talk about this kit is that, for the closure of part one, we built the head and we built the chest. Biggest thing with this kit is that it is an enormous kit and it does have a lot of parts. And when I say a lot, I mean this thing had 72 runners. Like, this is the biggest kit I've ever built. Having 72 runners is just an insane amount of runners. Now, it was not all smooth sailing. Being as this is a third-party kit, most of the times it will need some adjusting here and there. One of the things that I can talk about is, for example, I do have this one piece, this one silver piece that goes right on the chest piece right here. And my biggest thing is that it does not want to go in at all, which means that I'm probably going to have to clean this out a little bit or sand this down so it goes in there. And it still might be loose, so I might end up having to glue that part there. With that being said, there's also some other issues when it comes to quality control in regards to the runners. Some of the parts just are not molded well with the kit, which in return makes stuff like this happen. Right? So in event, all of this is going to be fixed when we are preparing the kit for paint. I will be sanding and I will be refitting all these parts, so that way we don't have any issues when we do the final build. But I do want to make sure that I compare this kit. This kit is going to be enormous, like I can already tell. And one thing that I did enjoy about this kit is the fact that it does have everything that you need for it to be fully functional and open up the hatch. Now, my biggest gripe with this is that it does have some fitment issues when it comes to these parts. And yes, it does upset me a little bit because it just seems that for the price tag that this kit has, it should not give anybody that much problem if you're trying to open and close hatches. Now, I will try to correct all these issues as much as I can before I paint this kit. That way we don't run into any issues at the end of the build. And I wanted just to make sure that I showcase all the detail that the kit currently has. Now, we will fully be painting this kit. I am not a fan of having, this type of metallic colors. I'm gonna be completely honest, the kit does have runners that come pre-painted, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the paint quality is not the greatest. Now, be it as it may, it does seem like it's going to be a good build so far. I didn't have that many issues aside from the normal third-party issues, which is usually fitment problems, and you have to like sand an extra peg here and there, which is not an issue for me, and and then go from there. And these are a little bit of the things that I encounter with the chest piece itself. It does have some fitment issues with these plastics, where right here you will have to sand some of the pegs to make them fit adequately without any problems. Some of the pegs in the back for these parts right here and the waist and the sides, you will need to sand the pegs down a little bit, maybe drill the holes a little bit bigger as well. As far as these vents go, so for these vents, they do have a mechanism that if you decide to go ahead and pull them out, they open up as well, and to the side. I wouldn't really play around with it too much. They don't seem very sturdy, so it seems like if you try to force them too much, they might break. So take that with a grain of salt. If you want to pose your kit with all hatches open and everything like that, this is not a kit that you want to play around with and just keep reposing. Whatever pose you decide to use for it, make sure that it's the last one it's in. Now, I did want to bring your attention to something that I encountered with the hatch. So the hatch itself, for the plastics itself, they are not very good. It does have some fitment issues here and there. Yes, the hatch will open for whenever you're trying to pose it, and you'll be able to see the cockpit on the inside without any problems. My biggest concern with this is that when you try to bring it down, it just seems like it's a little bit too rough, and my concern is that it might fall apart. And then I wanted to bring your attention to this right here. So this is not really aligning like it should, so I will be trying to sand a little bit to make them fit, because it's supposed to click right there. But the problem is that when you have it click right there, it separates itself on the top here, and then it just looks all janky, right? So aside from that, normal sanding. I did have to cut some plastic on this part right here, mainly to make sure that it overlap with the front part. That's just normal stuff that you kind of run into when you're buying these kits. Now, I know what some of you are going to say, saying like, well, you know, it's a $500 kit, you shouldn't have to be doing all of that. Well, keep in mind that you're still buying a third-party kit, and it is to be expected that you will have to put in a little bit extra work to make it look good. So just as a comparison, I want to take you to take a look at the comparison in size. Now, this is just the head and the chest, and it's already bigger than a high-grade kit. And this is just astonishing, really, to me. So just keep that in mind. If you are going to get one of these, it is a very big kit. So make sure you have the space to build it. Make sure you have the right tools to build it. And make sure that you have somewhere to display it where it's not going to look all clogged, and because it is going to be a big, tall kit. So, and that is it for part 1 of the 160 new Gundam build series. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my content, and I will see you all next time.